I would like to welcome everyone back to our podcast Unloaded. This is Michael Seahorn.
And Shannon Morrow.
And I'm glad to be here today.
Yep.
Another amazing podcast ahead of us. I got something. I got something interesting. I think that might bring some. I don't know. I think it's going to be a joy to talk about on one hand. On the other hand, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really want to talk about it. So.
Nah, you should see Michael right now. He's a little triggered. Yeah, walking into this thing like, what? Do we really have to talk about asking for help?
You know, it sounds silly. You know, asking for help is so triggering, but it is, man.
This is a tough one for you. Yeah, for a lot.
Yeah. It's going to be difficult, man. I ain't going to lie to you. But I'll be honest, as always. But, yeah, let's talk about asking for help, man. So asking for help it's a broad statement because, I mean, it could literally mean anything at some level, right? Like, it could mean anything from, hey, Shannon, can you give me a hand and, read this dissertation for me, to, hey, man, the worst ask that we all hate is when somebody says, hey, man, can you help me move? You're just like, busy.
Dude, I'm that guy with the pickup truck that generally says yes. Well, I used to in my younger years. Now my body's not quite
That's my point.
Strong.
That's my point, man.
Some more aches and pains.
To me, like when somebody asks you to move, like you got to be pretty good dudes, you know what I mean? Yeah. Hey, man, can you help me move all my shit? You're just like, God. Like,
you learn a lot about folks in the middle of a move, man. Some people, they got all their boxes all packed up nice. Everything's ready to go. Other people, you show up and they're just like, they need a lot of help.
Yeah. Good grief, man. Huh? I don't have too many people doing the ask anymore. I'll be honest with you. If you can drive a trailer, I'll offer you can use my trailer. You can use my trailer, man. Just don't damage it. But you can use the trailer. Good luck moving. Yeah. Right. Anyway, neither here nor there. Asking for help. So for me, this probably goes all the way back to when I was a young buck. Probably, I would have been 12 or 13, I think. 12 or 13. And had a little incident where at the time my stepdad took off in the middle of the night, left my brother and I alone. And mom was on the West Coast. We were in Baltimore. Dude just rolled out. And my brother and I had a week to figure our lives out until mom got back, right? Ironically, and Shannon and I have talked about this before, so it's something I don't think he hasn't heard, but when I woke up that morning, came downstairs and saw a note on the table with $100, and for those of you, not born in the 80s, 70s, and 80s, $100 back then was okay, but it's still going to be a stretch for, two kids, mind you, because I was 12. I had to be 12 my brother was 16. So, for a 12 and a 16-year-old, we had $100 to make it through the week, right? But in that moment of time, when I came down, I read the note. I can't remember what I felt at the time, but I do remember the thought that I had at the time. The thought I had at the time was, there's nobody coming to help me. No. And I need to figure this fucking life out by myself. And I think that moment of time was stamped in the subconscious depth of my brain. Because from that moment forward, especially when I become a younger man, got into my 20s and, start trying to live a life and then becoming a husband and a father at some point, got into the military, spent my time in the military. It seemed to asking for help was getting harder and harder as the years were ticking by, if that makes any world of sense.
Yeah. That moment stamped onto your psyche, really. There is no one coming. No one's coming to help you, man. There is no help. This is up to you. That's big. That's heavy. And that really formed some things.
It did, man. And I think the bad part about that was, even in times where I really needed to ask for help, I wouldn't. No. I wouldn't. I was just going to get through it. I was going to figure it out. And come hell or high water, that's the direction I was going to take. Yeah. And just for our listening audience, that is not healthy. I'm just going to be honest with you, it's not healthy. Because there were times, even as a man, where I really needed some help, man, and I just wouldn't ask for it. And we've talked about those in past issues, so we're not going to bring that back up. But even from the simple fact is, like, I needed to move my family. We were out of one rental home, and we were trying to get into another rental home because they were selling the house, and I needed a truck or a trailer or something. At the time, I had a mini coupe, so I wasn't moving much in the mini coupe. Even then, as a grown-ass man, working on being a better human being, I was still having issues asking people for help. And it's crazy. In the last episode, we were talking about these stuck points. This is a huge, huge stuck point for me.
If I ask for help, then ... fill in the blank.
Yeah. What does it mean? Am I weak? I can't figure out I can't figure out my life. I can't, I can't make it on my own. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's probably
good work, man.
There's probably like 100 more sitting in there somewhere, right?
There's the top 3. Yep. I can't make it on my own. If I ask for help, does that imply that I can't make it on my own?
Yeah.
It's good to challenge that one.
Yeah. It's. I like to say it's gotten better, and it has. It surely has, for sure. But I still find myself going back to that stuck point where it's like, I don't want to ask. I don't want to ask a dude, hey man, I need X. I don't care what the X is. It's whether it's. I've tried to I've tried really good to try to set myself up so I have the tools now that I need. But prior, I didn't have a tool. I didn't have a truck. I didn't have a trailer. I have those things now. There were just things I didn't have and I needed. And as a man, I just was like, this sucks. I'm tired of asking. Maybe that's the thing too. Maybe I felt a little bit like I'm just tired of asking people for help. But ironically, it's a stupid statement because I never asked. Right? It's in my head.
Yeah.
But it never came to fruition because I wouldn't let it. I'll just figure it out.
Oh man, making things a lot harder on yourself.
Oh, 100%. 100%, man.
Yeah. And I mean, subtext, like, dude, how capable are any of us truly, like, so independent we can do everything on our own? Like, okay, I get it. If we do have the tools, if we do have a trailer, if we do have, a lot of capacity, capabilities to mostly take care of ourselves, great. And then we can even, show up for others, but how much are we all really truly like on our own? I mean, we're all so connected, just even societally, to put gas in our truck, or to get food from the grocery store, or electricity and water coming into all of our homes. We're all so reliant on each other, together. We're all doing our jobs and to keep things going, to support each other in that more collective sense.
Yeah, and I think more times than not, for me personally, like in today's world, it's a lot of the quote unquote asking for help for me really is asking people that are doing other things outside of my realm. I'll give you an example. Like, we have a canal where our water comes through the property, and we wanted to put a fence along there to keep my dang dog out because Odin loves the water. He's a Newfoundland bred dog, so he just loves the water. And the wife wanted to fence up in case grandkids come over. So just a little safety. So I went down to the Big R, bought a big ass roll of square fence, and it's like 100. It was just it was like, I can't remember, it was like 388 feet or it was something weird. Yeah. At the time, it wasn't a big deal. I didn't really give two craps. The guy helped me load it in the back of the truck, and I went to the house, kicked it out the back onto the concrete, put it on a dolly, put it out in the yard. Well, about a week later, man, I was like, why is it an odd amount of feet. It doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm not a rancher. I'm not a farmer. I'm an Army guy, military dude, and I had no clue. So I actually asked my owner, I'm like, hey, what's up with this X amount of footage on the fence? It's not like 300 or 150 or 200. It's like 388 or something weird. He's like, oh, that's because when you stretch these out on the ranches, they put these little, I don't even know what they're called. I guess these little posts and things that keep the tension. And then they put these, a certain amount of feet, they put little gates or whatever. So I guess some smart guy figured out that every rancher uses kind of the similar footage, And so when I'm asking a lot of guys for help these days, it's for more knowledge. Mm-hmm. And I'm okay asking for knowledge, man.
I don't know about this. What do you know? Yeah.
And I before everybody gets all spun out, I can Google it and I can get on AI and all this stuff, but I still enjoy talking to people. Yeah. And I think that you're kind of doing two good things at the same time. Is when you're asking another person for their opinion or advice or their knowledge, it makes people feel pretty darn good, right?
And beyond,
go ahead, Shannon.
And beyond that, it gives them an opportunity, because when we get to explain something, when we get to pass on knowledge, it often develops it for ourselves. If you really want to know something, teach it. And someone might have a concept or an understanding of something quite well, but then someone suddenly asks them about it, and for them to have to explain it or teach it or pass it on in a way that someone else understands it, that provides greatly for the person passing it on. They grasp it more, they figure it out more, understand it more. So it provides other people an opportunity for their own development of the same subject matter.
Yeah, and I think too, you're also letting the other person know that you value them by asking them, right? Because as humans, we know that people don't have to come ask me anything, right? Nobody has to ask me about IT. Nobody has to come ask me how to build a website or whatever the case may be. You can go online and do that all day long. I find more traction out of asking the people that I know that are in that world, whatever that world is. I ask them because I do truly value their knowledge. Mm-hmm. And I think even as a human being, when people conversely ask me certain things about my past or my experience, it does create a sense of, just makes you feel good, to be honest with you. Like, hey, this person trusts me enough to come ask me my opinion, right, or whatever that value might be.
And even just the value of basic human connection. Just providing your attention to someone else, someone providing their attention to you, that basic connection of an exchange and communication, just like, hey, I was kind of wondering, what's it? And that back and forth is human connection, quality attention, and that's what makes the world go around.
Yeah, it does, man. It's like, when I first started getting into more the rodeo world, because my owner is a huge rodeo guy. Man, they're throwing around nomenclatures that I have no idea what the hell these nomenclatures mean, dude. I have no idea. Now, I could be a dumbass and just sit there and act like I know and shake my head, but I'm missing out because I don't understand what is going on, man. Mm-hmm. So I just had to lean over and be like, hey, what does all this mean? Mm-hmm. Oh. And then, they give you a whole quick laundry list of, hey, this is what's happening. Mm-hmm. Well, now I can enjoy the damn thing because I don't have to sit here and try to decipher all this lingo that I've never heard.
You've learned. Yep.
Right? It's like the military. If you and I were talking about, all the different Army, Air Force, slang that we've come accustomed to, and two people have never been around that, they'd have no clue what we're talking about.
Like most things, there's these almost whole different language, or just learning the language, the subculture. Whether you're talking bicycles or IT or military stuff or rodeo stuff or medical stuff, if you don't know just even the basics, what's the stem on a bicycle? What's, posterior, anterior? What's, just there's so many just learning the language, and until we grasp basic understanding of what these words mean, we're not going to understand.
Yeah, and it sounds silly, but getting back to asking for help, I think it's still all relatable. Right? You have to be comfortable just asking somebody. It's not difficult. Doesn't mean you're weak. Doesn't mean that you're dumb. I think it's quite the opposite. I feel dumber sitting here trying to figure something out that I have no goddamn understanding of, dude. And I'm too proud, if you will, or too manly to just kind of pop my hand up and be like, hey man, I'm sorry, man. What does this mean? What does X mean? I think that shows a lot of self-confidence in myself that I'm okay just saying, hey, I'm sorry, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you're weak.
No.
It just means that you don't know, and you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
Doesn't make you stupid.
Nope. That's it.
And I think it goes a lot back to this, just asking for help. Now, like Shannon was saying, I have a lot of capabilities because I've built my lifestyle that way just because it's just who I am. So I have a lot of capabilities, a lot of tools and things like that. So I don't have to ask a lot for help these days, but when I do, generally what I have found is it's a little easier these days to ask. And I think it's probably a credit to the last 11 years of improvement, and I don't ever take it lightly either when I do ask somebody for help. Like I really want them to know, man, like I super, super appreciate that if you can help in, with whatever that may be.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't take that lightly.
It's pretty silly that we're even talking about it, but I see a lot of people. No, it's not silly. I don't know. I guess a lot of things that we talk about here on Unloaded, sometimes it seems a little simple, but then when you really unpack it and really start talking about it, it's applicable across the board. Yeah. There's a lot of us who have a big struggle with asking, hey, slow down, I don't understand. What? You don't understand? No, I don't, man. Slow down. More simple, please. Yeah. It's both sides of the fence too. It's not male driven or female driven. It's just things that happen for us human beings. Yeah. You know what I mean? Now, I can tell you that in my past years, I had some people, if you will, that seemed to be people that's all they did was ask for help for everything, and
there's the other side, right?
There's the other side of the coin. And what I started to feel was that it was just laziness at some level. They just didn't, hey man, can you come help me do this? Hey, can you come help do this? Hey man, can you my dryer this, my washer this, and this in my car? And I was like, bro, how did you make it this far?
It's hard for me to admit. I too often still, even though I'd like to think I'm getting a little better at it. I've been trying to catch it, but how often do I ask a question or begin to ask a question and like, oh, wait a second, have I tried to answer this for myself? Because if the dude's sitting right next to me, or even my wife a lot of the times, or whoever, just it's easier like, hey, what's gonna happen? And if I actually slow down and look at it and like, oh wait, let me think this through, like and to put in the mental effort to answer our own questions off, like that's thinking, that's brain power, and it's nice to sometimes wait, slow down. Can I, or at least get as far as you can. What do I think the answer is? That the right answer? I don't know, but I've thought about it enough, not certain that now I can ask the question, or even ask a more informed question, because I have attempted to think it through somewhat for myself, rather than just throwing it out there without giving it much thought.
It's a very valid point, because it's exactly how I've raised my children. I've raised all of them to try to attempt to do something to fix your issue or fix your problem. And it's a great point because I want them to try to go through that mental exercise of trying to figure out something, which is pretty ironic because I do the same thing. Before I go, obviously I have a little bit different level at the company, but I always attempt to try to figure it out as far as I possibly can figure that out. And then once I get to the part that I can't figure out any longer, that's when I need to take it somewhere else. Whether it's to, one of my staff members, whether it's to my owner, or make a phone call. I try not to depend on the computer too much sometimes because it becomes a huge crutch, and I don't feel like it's using my mind any longer. Just asking the question in Google is great, but I'll get all the answers. Easy peasy. It's easy, but what I'll tell you is what I have found out is by not going through the exercise of trying to get as far as I can possibly get on my own, what I find out is if you get the wrong answer, you don't know it's the wrong answer.
Exactly. But putting in the mental effort, this is it. Effort. It is effort. And effort can be very beneficial. That is how we grow. That is what strengthens us when we put forth effort. And it's easy to get lazy or not want to put in the effort or whatever. But man, if we just become accustomed to life in general requires quite a bit of effort to achieve, what we want or go the directions we want to go. And so just to get comfortable with the task or the energy of effort, it can really benefit us.
No, it can. And, it comes up a lot in today's new AI world. And I know it's a huge topic out there. And I'll give a real world example is when I was creating our website Unloaded, I was having an issue with one of our pages, and I just couldn't get it figured out. So I threw it into AI. Ironically, AI was just going down the laundry list of try this, try this, try this, try this, try this, try this. In that process, when I was looking at its quote unquote fix to my problem, it dawned on me where the solution was. So just by reading the step by step, it was like, hey, go through this laundry list. In that reading, it dawned on me that, hey, I think I know what the problem is. Funny thing was, AI didn't give that to me.
No.
The solution wasn't in the laundry list.
But it advanced your thought just enough. Yep.
Correct. And then when I went in and explored what I thought the problem was, bingo.
There it is.
The solution was there. And something I've been working with people on my staff and even in the family is use AI as a tool. It's no different from any other tool. This tool is an input tool. Yes, it gives you an output, but if you're not understanding the input on your own, then you don't understand the output. And I think that's where some people get a little confused.
Please be very intentional, be very mindful, slow down, be conscious of just this big word calculator, this big machine, that it is indeed artificial. And so it's up to the user in determining, okay, what input, that's such a good point. What input am I putting in to get out the output that'll actually serve?
Yeah, if I input something in, I'm just going to use this as a hypothetical. If I input something into AI and go, how do I build a rocket? And it gives me a laundry list of how to build a rocket. How do I know that's right? I don't, because I don't know how to build a rocket in the first place, right? So that's my input-output in my own personal theory on AI is use it only as a tool, but the input is very important. Make sure you know what you're talking about, or have an understanding of what you're trying to get the output to tell you. And it is a tool, so good luck with all that. I know we're a little off topic, but I think it's prudent because asking for help in my current position and role, what I see 90+% of the time is that's the default.
Yeah. And please don't ask AI for help per se. I hope you understand the meaning of that. Like, it's a powerful tool, and if you know kind of how the tool works and you can use it fairly correctly so it meets your needs, great. But just surrendering, throwing your arms up, not putting in much effort, and say, just help. Whoa, whoa. No.
That's a good point. No, that is a good point. But what I do see is that people aren't asking for help as often because they're automatically defaulting to the new world that we're living in.
And that takes away from that human connection of just that valuable attention we can provide one another, the real, the non-artificial, the natural intelligence.
Yeah, through asking for help now, what I generally find too is, if I have a staff member that comes to me and says, "Hey, boss, I need this," or "I'm having a problem with this," generally what I find out is in that conversation generally turns into quite an involved solution. Mm-hmm. And in that conversation, what I sometimes get out of it is you may solve 2 or 3 other things by just going back and forth talking about the original ask.
You're building off each other's thought. You're like, you're figuring things out together. That's the beauty. That's the power of 2 minds working together, having multiple sets of eyes on something. You're advancing each other's thought and knowledge, and then it's a bigger, like you said, more emerges from that than just generally the original intent.
Yeah, and at the same time, like Shannon said before, is you're just building you're building a deeper relationship too at some level because of the back and forth.
There it is. And there's often cool little tangents that form out of that otherwise would have never been created.
Yeah, just don't go on a big tangent.
Well, it depends.
I guess it does depend, man. Some people are a little longer than others, but it's okay, man. Yeah. Neither here nor there. So, Shannon, what do you think if we're having a problem asking for help? Do you kind of have a starting point for someone? I know it's very broad, but all right, let's just use me as an example. Huh? So based upon what we've talked about at the beginning of the podcast, what would be your advice to me that, hey, Mike, I know you have a problem asking for help. Maybe.
It's okay.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
It's, if you can normalize it, like, yeah, of course, this is common. A lot of us have a hard time asking for help, man. We have this weird stuck point. It implies weakness. If I ask for help, people will think I'm weak. Like, let's challenge that. We all could use a hand from time to time, and then, yeah, there's a lot of pride stuff or ego stuff or just, there's so much involved and it's so case by case. And it's generally, many of us don't mind being asked. Let's not take that opportunity from another. Like, what? You're curious about this? Oh, let me help you. We like to teach. We like to explain. We like when our knowledge is sought a lot of the time. If we have the time for it, if it's appropriate time, space, and all that. But it's pretty enjoyable to provide that. So just getting over our bad selves and, and the fear of what people might think. And it's okay. Yeah, of course it's hard. Yeah, that makes sense. Naturally acknowledging that. And while also then maybe ease in, check it out, explore it, just to see how it goes.
So relatability.
Ah, nice. Yes.
Yeah, just listening to you just now, it popped into the brain.
Nice.
Relatability, man, because we can all relate to helping somebody.
Yeah, and needing help.
So maybe that's a good reminder for all of us, and me included. Yeah. When you're having a difficult time asking for help, just remind yourself that most likely the person you're trying to be talking to has had to ask for help as well.
Yeah.
So there's some relatability in there.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah. Well, it's been a great conversation today, especially talking about things that make me uncomfortable. So that was a lot of fun. Definitely, if you need help in the mental space world, please, definitely ask for help.
Yeah.
Please.
In a big way, about the big things, real stuff. There's a lot of resources out there.
Yeah. So 988's out there. It's free. If you're not,
call, text, it's
it's a great platform that they've got for people. As always, look in your local area for mental health providers in your local area. Google's good for that for sure. And like always, just a quick friendly reminder that in no way, shape, or form is this mental health being put out for you listeners. This is just Shannon and I having a conversation. If you're looking for some mental health, please look up a provider in your local area. As always, man, it's been fun. I appreciate you, Shannon. I appreciate our listeners out there. But this is Mike Seahorn.
Shannon Morrow.
And we'll catch you guys on the next episode.